more power in a smaller shell, keep your home running longer in an emergency. The folks at Jackery are sponsoring this video so we can chat about power, running your home in a blackout, making sure your family is taken care of, and not taking up a ton of space to do all that. Power stations like this one here, the Jackery HomePower 3000, have become key gadgets in our house. We use them daily to back up computers and appliances, and we lean on them pretty hard during emergencies. Combined with some solar panels, we might be able to reduce or outright replace any need for a gas-powered generator. Now, with so many options out there, though, it can be a little intimidating to jump into a power station. Even just limiting your choices to Jackery, there are a bunch of different solutions. Choice can be a little overwhelming, but I'm happy to see that because it means you really can tailor fit a battery strategy to meet your exact needs. This box here, as an example, the HomePower 3000, is unique in my experiences. I've used smaller capacity batteries from other manufacturers that have arrived in larger and heavier frames, often requiring wheels to easily move them around. Jackery delivers a higher capacity battery, but in a smaller shell that weighs less. They fit so many watt hours inside this bad boy. That was corny. Yeah, this is a big boy battery designed to power a kitchen full of appliances for a couple of days, or you could plug it into an RV for folks living the mobile life. I can't comment as knowledgeably about the RV stuff, so I'm gonna stick with essential home backup use in this video, sticking to a topic I read off the side of the shipping box. A modern household needs to support a variety of different devices, and that's what we see on the front face. USB-A and USB-C ports for electronics, supporting up to 100-watt output, which should handle a lot of laptops out there without needing to plug in larger power bricks. I mean, we can joke about a phone's battery life and we always want more power, but this should be able to charge your phone a couple hundred times if you need that. There's a 12-volt car port for equipment run on that kind of plug, and it can also be handy if you need to add a few extra USB ports. Then that bigger plug for RVs rated at 30 amps, and a quartet of AC outputs rated to power full-sized appliances. I was today years old when I learned that the AC ports with the little sideways plug are the clue that the plug can support 20 amp output. I am not an electrician. I'm slow, but I get there. A full LCD readout detailing what ports are in operation and how much power the box is handling. The HomePower can be charged over AC or over these DC inputs, and that's where we can connect a car charger with the right adapter or plug into some solar panels. This is a big lump of battery. It's impressive to see AC charging top this box off in under 2.5 hours. You can combine AC and DC charging to speed that up even more. Solar charging, of course, depends on your panels and your weather conditions, but Jackery estimates a full charge on 400-watt solar panels at around 11 hours. And that's a topic transition here. 11 hours is a long time, but we're hoping we're not in a situation where we consistently drain this whole battery in a single day. Want to make sure we're fitting the right tool to the right job. The kind of use I'd be aiming for, maybe charging a laptop once a day, keeping a couple of phones topped off, running a small fan to cool a small room, and then keeping our fridge running. That kind of use should not run this whole battery down in a day. And if we can mix in some solar charging, we should be able to keep that kind of load running for days, maybe even a couple weeks of power outages. This is what Jackery is pointing to with essential home backup. Now, we've lived in this condo for a couple years now, and we're still kind of feuding with our HOA about battery backups and solar installations. We don't have a whole home solution yet, but with these kinds of crate batteries, we can keep mission critical appliances and office equipment running for days. We can back up the essentials. When we had some scary fires out here in Southern California, our power company cut power to our area early. We were without power for days before we eventually got a cautionary evacuation order. Thankfully, everything worked out okay for our area, but it was a really stressful week. We had an older fridge at the time. It was not very power efficient, and a smaller capacity battery than this Jackery. With that combo, we could just about keep that older fridge running for a day on that older battery, and we were charging from sun up to sundown with solar panels to make sure we could make it through the night and into the next day. It took a bit of legwork, but we made it through. Now, one of the coolest things about getting into power station tech is learning a little, just a little, about electricity and how much power all of your appliances will consume. I've been nerding out on that math pretty hard. After we returned from the evacuation, it just made sense. It was time to replace that old fridge with something more power efficient. And these power stations give you a practical look at how much juice is being consumed. On our new fridge, it's wild to see a refrigerator in operation pulling as much power as a laptop might when fast charging. It's empowering to know about power, especially when you're not guessing on how much generator you might need to buy. Now, with this new combo, we're estimating we should be able to keep our full-size refrigerator running for about 3 days, give or take, just on the battery. And that can be extended significantly with some solar, which also means we have more room to play with. So if we want to brew a pot of coffee or add a little entertainment, there's more flexibility in what we can do on battery power. We can add a few essentials. That's extra peace of mind when we're using this in stressful situations. We can bring power to where we need it. It isn't burning any fuel, which is good, as the gas stations closest to us were also shut down, and it runs almost silently. It's a lot more discreet. During the fires, we had neighbors driving farther out to gas up. They were buying bags of ice to keep their food from spoiling. And we'd often see them in our parking lot charging phones and laptops. Your car can be a generator like that, but it's not a great way to charge your phone. Now, the emergency stuff is the big stuff to talk about, but these crate batteries have also come in handy for daily tasks. It is kinda silly, but you have a really robust power strip here. We keep it under a table in our living room, and we're using it to charge gadgets and power my wife's home office. Performance is good enough here to use it as a UPS for electronics that don't demand a truly zero-time switchover. Sub 20 millisecond switch is plenty fast enough for my wife's office equipment. It should be fast enough to handle something like a CPAP. But if there's a concern about power management and you're not at home, the box is Wi-Fi enabled. You can use the Jackery app on your phone just to check in and see how your battery is performing. Or if your Wi-Fi goes down, you can be pretty sure that Jackery is probably being used to power whatever you had connected to it. Last year, we took an international trip for our summer vacation, and I had a nice battery hooked up to our fridge, but no way of knowing that everything was okay. What if we had some brownouts during the summer heat? Just no way to know. So Wi-Fi access is a nice get here. And that's important to highlight on this product line too. Jackery is making a distinction in the product name. This is a HomePower battery. It's small and light for the capacity inside, but it is still a bit of weight to carry. You totally can take it out on some adventuring, but the idea behind this is more focused on solving problems around the house or in your RV. You let it live somewhere convenient and you bring it out when you really need to. If you're more mobile, more on the go, outfitting a campsite, Jackery sells a different line of batteries under the Explorer name. Even something similar to the HomePower here, but with handles and wheels. Or if you really don't need all this capacity, there are smaller options, like a little lunchbox-sized Explorer 300. We want to get the right tool for the right job. If you're not powering appliances out in nature, then this should get you by, topping off phones, a drone, Bluetooth speakers, and it's a lot easier to recharge a smaller battery like this on a smaller solar panel. Rugged build for outdoor activities, and you get a lighter pack weight. This stuff is so cool, but it's critical that we have these choices and that folks understand why different options work for different scenarios. These gadgets are becoming more front of mind. I'm seeing Jackery show up in stores like Costco, but a friend of the family was really frustrated recently when their little lunchbox battery just couldn't power their fridge. It has these AC ports on it. Why won't it just work? And thankfully we were able to help him out, but we had to have a conversation. We had to teach him about output and surge ratings. So I get it. We're all in information overload these days, but this kind of stuff is kind of fun to figure out. And you feel pretty good when you do the math and these products actually help you out when you need them. It's a nice little bit of adulting. This came through for you, and you came through for your family. This is a product category I love covering, and there are fantastic options out there to shop from a variety of manufacturers. I've made a bunch of videos about other batteries. I'm happy to be partnering with Jackery on this video precisely because I think they do a better job than most of filling specific battery needs, from small electronics to essential appliances and all the way up to whole house solutions. But with all that, they're also pretty good at communicating with their customers what the right tool might be for a specific job. If you need a home power solution or you want to go exploring, that's the kind of information that helps people get up to speed on some useful and helpful technology. Gotta shout out Jackery. Another thank you for working with me on this. There are links in the description below on Jackery products. And if you're catching this video shortly after I published it, there's a good little promo code that should save you a lot of money on a power station or solar generator of your very own. Good tech is always more fun when we get it on sale. And I will have some follow-up videos coming out soon. One of my patrons was struggling with how to figure out what size battery to buy, and I'm sure we can help people figure that math out more easily. It's really not that hard. It's fun math, so stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. As always, thanks so much for watching, for subscribing to the channel, sharing this content. The sharing is a really big deal these days, what with all the algorithms and whatnot. All of the people out there supporting their favorite content creators, but of course I have to send a special shout out to my patrons, all of the folks over on patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. All of the names scrolling by on your screen right now. A huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. These are the folks that are helping to keep the lights on here in the Gadget Lab. Like literally running a small home office in Southern California, unless there's a power outage and then we're using a backup battery like a Jackery. None of my editorials or reviews or videos would be possible without their support and their generosity. They're basically the coolest tech pals in the universe, so I hope you'll check them out. I hope you'll consider joining the community at patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. Now, you know where you can find me across the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy, basically everywhere, but these days I'm trying to spend a bit more time on the Mastodons, a little on the Blueskis, and a bit less on some of those other platforms and social media sites, but I'm around. You can find me. You can reach out and we can chat, and I will catch you all on the next video.